I'm Lizzy Lovette and welcome to Movie Juice, your home of all things film here on Star Picks. Now, brace yourself because we're about to dive into a treasure trove of goodness, checking out some of the biggest releases of this year from the biggest stars. Don't believe me? Well, here's what's coming up. In tonight's show, Alicia Malone chats to William H Macy, Helen and John Hawkes about their new film, The Sessions. We take a look at Seven Psychopaths, starring Colin Farrell, Christopher Walken, Sam Rockwell and Woody Harrelson. It's then time to turn our attention to The Master, the latest offering from director Paul Thomas Anderson, starring Seymour Hoffman and Joaquin. And in premiere, Alicia Malone hits the red carpet in LA for Wreck-It Ralph, where she chats to John C Reilly. It's a big show, so first up, let's head straight to the trailer park for a film that's a visual extravaganza. It's already making waves in America and comes from the same family directing duo that brought us The Matrix, so you know it's going to be good. It's called Cloud Atlas and explores the whole idea that the actions we make as individuals impacts our past, present and future. It stars the wonderful Tom Hanks and beautiful Halle Berry, who each play 6 different characters in the film at different stages of their lives. Let's check it out, Cloud Atlas.
This is the Cloud Atlas sextet?
I doubt there's more than a handful of copies in all of North America.
But I know it. I know it.
That's it. The music from my dream.
There are whole movements I wrote imagining us meeting again and again in different lives, in different ages.
I can't explain it, but I knew when I opened that door.
A powerful deja vu ran through my bones. I heard it in a dream. I was in a nightmarish cafe, and the waitresses, they all had the same face.
No reason to hide. I know you are Sonmi 451.
Yesterday, my life was headed in one direction. Today, it is headed in another. You ever think the universe is against you? Fear, belief, love, phenomena that determine the course of our lives. These forces begin long before we are born and continue after we perish.
Our lives are not our own. We are bound to others, past and present. And by each crime and every kindness, we birth our future.
I won't let you go again. I believe there is another world waiting for us, a better world. And I'll be waiting for you there.
Doesn't that look epic? Cloud Atlas hits cinemas next year. Now it's time to focus on our first film of the show, and it's called The Sessions and tells a beautiful story of a man with polio who wants to lose his virginity and enlists the help of a therapist priest. It stars William H Macy, Helen and John Hawkes, who gives a stunning lead role performance as Mark O'Brien. And our very own Alicia Malone got to sit down with the cast in LA to talk more about this poignant story.
I understand you'd like me to hear your confession?
Yes, I would. Not exactly a confession. I haven't yet done the deed.
I'm here for you, Mark.
Is it possible for me to know a woman in the biblical sense?
Are we talking about sexual intercourse?
I think so.
Outside marriage?
My penis speaks to me, Father Brendan. This therapist suggested I could work with a sex surrogate who would be sensitive to my unusual needs.
In my heart, I feel like he'll give you a free pass on this one. Go for it.
Such an interesting job as sexual surrogate, because you have to be both clinical and also try not to be emotional, but it's an emotional experience.
I think it's an emotional experience, and also this particular man was so funny and brave and clever, and that this character could not help but have her heart cracked open.
I went into the Sundance screening completely fresh. I didn't want to know anything about it. Took me a while to realize that was John Hawkes, the scary guy from Martha Marcy.
Yes, yes, very different. God.
Very different.
I saw that movie after this, thank God. Oh. I even had the experience of seeing him at the wrap party, and suddenly he had, like, you know, groovy boots on and stuff in his hair, and I went, wait, whoa, this is not who I was just in bed with for 3 weeks.
He's incredible, and if you've seen him in some of his other films where he's such a scary dude, he's almost unrecognizable. And yet he doesn't look any different, it's just the acting.
What was it like when you were working with him? I know he had to be in a lot of pain because of the contortion. Did you see that? Did he use that pain?
He did. He put this pillow under his back, which sort of curved his spine, and he had to get a massage every night. It was tough, and being the curmudgeon that I am, I kept thinking, is that necessary? Do we see it? But in fact, yes, he sort of spoke through that, which I think is probably the essence of a disability, that you work through it. You always have to work through something.
It's always a reminder.
There's always a reminder, yes. It's amazing to me how often God is brought into the sex act. I understand even among non-believers, the most common expression of sexual ecstasy is, oh God.
Tell me about the torture ball.
Well, it's only because the script calls for it. You know, Mark speaks about it, Helen speaks about it, that Mark's spine was so horribly curved, so along with the props people fashioned a foam, approximately soccer-sized ball and put it under the left side of my back, and that was it.
Imagine those long days would be extremely uncomfortable.
Yeah, but come on, I'm an actor. I mean, I've worked real jobs. I've dug ditches. You know, any small amount of pain I was feeling, there's people who deal with stuff minute to minute that's excruciating, and I was able to walk away from the torture ball. So, I wouldn't feel too sorry for me, that's for sure.
Maybe this is a bad idea.
I think you've done a great thing.
She adores me, and I can get pretty kinky.
Am I sharing too much, Father?
Go on.
Based on a true story, The Sessions is in cinemas now. Do not go anywhere, because coming up after the break here on Movie Juice, we are getting all the hottest and latest Hollywood news from Renee Brack, and then Alicia Malone hits the red carpet in LA to talk to the very funny John C. Reilly about his latest film, Wreck-It Ralph. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Movie Juice. Now, as I said before the break, we're about to hit the red carpet in LA, where Alicia Malone got to chat with John C. Reilly at the premiere of his latest film, Wreck-It Ralph. But first, let's get all the hottest and latest Hollywood film news with Renee Brack. Take it away, Renee.
It was a star-studded affair at the Los Angeles County Museum of Art. A-listers such as Robert Pattinson, Cameron Diaz, Tom Hanks, Amy Adams, Jeremy Renner, Will Ferrell, Salma Hayek and Jack Nicholson were just some of the big names hitting up the Art and Film Gala in honour of Ed Ruscha and Stanley Kubrick.
Los Angeles has had a resurrection with art. It is really exciting what is happening.
Also along for the ride, Drew Barrymore and hubby Will Koppelman, who made their first red carpet appearance since the birth of daughter Olive a month ago. The pair showed off baby photos to pals Jennifer Aniston and Justin Theroux, while Jen flaunted a little bit of cleavage and a huge engagement ring. Even K-pop star Psy brought his Gangnam Style to the event.
Everybody has Gangnam Style in their deeper mind, you know, I believe so.
Just the next day, Will Ferrell traded in his suit and tie for t-shirt and shorts as he took part in the Rock and Roll Halloween Marathon, benefiting the ASPCA. Rihanna has a new title to add to her list of accomplishments, Queen of Halloween. The city of West Hollywood crowned the singer at their annual carnival. Rihanna's mum was on hand as she happily accepted the honour at Greystone Manor Supper Club. And at another Halloween bash in LA, 30 Rock actor James Marsden got us up to speed on his other upcoming projects.
I did this movie Two Guns with Mark Wahlberg and Denzel Washington. It's a big, testosterone-induced shoot-'em-up movie. It's coming out next summer. And then I was just in The Butler, the Forrest Whitaker, Oprah Winfrey movie about the butler who served at the White House over 8 presidencies. And I played John F. Kennedy, which was a challenge.
Ben Affleck has a lot to celebrate. Not only is his movie Argo #1 at the box office, which he stars in and directed, but he was also bestowed with a Career Achievement Award by the Casting Society of America. Castmates Tobey Maguire, Kerry Washington and Ray Liotta reunited on the red carpet for the Los Angeles premiere of The Details. We caught up with the 3 stars to find out more about the dark comedy.
Well, the film centers around Toby's character, who is struggling to make sense of his marriage and his life, and I play an old friend of his who sort of complicates matters. I don't make it easier.
My character makes some bad choices, and he decides or discovers that he wants to clean up those bad choices without really copping to what he's done or the mess he's created. And so he's trying to clean up his own mess, and he creates more mess for himself, basically.
I'm married to Kerry Washington, and she does me wrong.
Well, Ray Liotta is full of judgment, isn't he? Judgy McJudgerson, Ray Liotta.
And that's it for Movie Juice News.
Thanks, Renee. Now, as I said earlier this week, Alicia Malone hit a huge red carpet in LA for the world premiere of Wreck-It Ralph. And she chatted with the wonderful and very funny John C. Reilly and Sarah Silverman. Let's check it out.
When it comes to a Disney film or a Pixar movie, did you have to think about it?
Involved in it, and so it was a pretty good deal. Everybody in it was good, and it was easy. So I think I just went twice over to the animation thing, and you go in the booth, and an hour and a half later you're finished.
So you didn't go really method and hang out in arcades for months in advance?
No, I never do that anyway.
Yeah.
For anything.
Well, it's like years in the making. I think it's my longest job ever. So I'm happy to say it's been a really great job. And I got to improvise a lot and be a part of the whole thing, the whole creative enterprise of it. Rich let me come and visit with the animators and do all kinds of stuff that, voice actors don't usually get to do. So it's been fantastic, and I really put a lot of heart into this character, so I'm very proud of it.
Now, I've heard as an actress doing a voiceover in animated film is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But how embarrassing is it when it comes to those little reaction noises, like maybe running?
Oh, nothing's embarrassing. I've been an actor for so long. I've done ridiculous things on stage. I've made a fool out of myself more times than I can count. To do a little grunting and all, I just did one right there. I'm not embarrassed.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. It's about, basically jumping off a cliff and saying, look how silly I am every time you go out on stage. So I'm used to it.
You've got such a familiar sounding voice. What is it like when you hear it coming from the big screen?
I think I'm one of those people who still gets a little squirrely, even like when you hear your own outgoing voicemail messages. So to hear it on the big screen, the cool thing is it looks so amazing. I don't even have to worry about, I sound crazy, just because you're enjoying the movie so much. It looks fantastic.
Most animated movies, the actors are recorded separately, and so you don't even meet each other until events like this one. But that wasn't the case with us. We made a big effort to be there in the studio together so that we could throw stuff back and forth and improvise with each other and kind of work off of each other. So I think it comes through in the movie.
Now, I got to visit the Disney animated studios, and I saw that they had candy and video games. Did you get to partake in any of that?
I did eat some candy that I know what you're talking about, and I ate a lot of candy. And you know what? As many times as it happens, you never remember how crappy you feel after. It's like, it's poison. Sugar is poison.
Thanks, Alicia. Now, don't go anywhere because after the break, we're going to check out 2 hot new releases. The first being Seven Psychopaths, which has a stunning cast, including Colin Farrell, Christopher Walken, Sam Rockwell, and Woody Harrelson. And then we'll take a look at The Master, which sees stunning performances from Philip Seymour Hoffman and Joaquin Phoenix. It's all coming up next. Thanks for joining me here on Movie Juice. Now, let's take a look at the latest action-adventure comedy to hit cinemas this week called Seven Psychopaths. Now, it tells the story of a struggling screenwriter who gets himself into a whole lot of trouble as a result of his friend's dog kidnapping business, which goes a little too far when they kidnap an LA gangster's Shih Tzu. It stars Colin Farrell, Christopher Walken, Woody Harrelson, Sam Rockwell, and our very own Abby Cornish. Let's check it out.
Hi, is this your dog?
Oh my God. I have to pay you. Thank you so much.
Are you serious?
And how's everything in the dog kidnapping business?
Did you get a new dog? Where were you walking him, Charisse?
I always loved Bonnie like he was my own child.
1, I do not want that image in my head. 2, could you go get my dog back?
So every now and then you read something and they say it jumps off the page, and this one does that, and it slaps you in the face and it gets you by the back of the head and slams you off the table and gives you a kick in the arse, and it just really takes you on a wonderful ride. And so I was delighted to be working with him again.
One of the cool things that Martin brings to it is he's like a wonderful, I guess he'd be the daddy in this case, but he's really the head of this family, and he really makes everybody, feel great and, part of something special, and he just always checks on you, makes sure everything's cool.
The dialogue is remarkable and perverted and hilarious and rich and, poetic, like Martin is. So it's always interesting to say things that are interesting to say.
What the hell happened?
Some punks jumped us.
Who are you?
Said they were looking for a little Shih Tzu. Then some other punk killed those punks. It's their blood. It's his puke.
You want to go to the bathroom, clean some of the blood and the puke off you?
I almost got killed today because you kidnapped the wrong dog.
Are you being serious?
Wow. When we were shooting in Bruges, he alluded to this script, Seven Psychopaths, by letting me know that in Bruges was just a rehearsal to see if he actually liked shooting films, that he had a real script that he wanted to shoot, which was much better than in Bruges, and that was this one. So before I even read Seven Psychopaths, I was, he's just a brilliant writer, man. Spade a spade. It being the second film I've done with him, there's definitely a shorthand, which is nice to experience.
We pretty much stick to the script. There has been a little bit of improv, and we'll see how much of that ends up in the film. I think Martin wanted a little bit more improv in this film than he did in Bruges for some reason. He wanted a style that was more, a little messier, I think.
I like it. It's got layers.
Yeah!
An eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind.
No, it doesn't. There'll be one guy left with one eye. How's the last blind guy gonna take out the eye of the last guy left?
That troublemaking Shih Tzu, Seven Psychopaths, is in cinemas now. Another big-name film hitting cinemas this week is called The Master, the latest work for director Paul Thomas Anderson, and stars Philip Seymour Hoffman and Joaquin Phoenix. Now, it tells the story of a veteran naval officer who returns home battered and bruised. That is until he meets a charismatic intellect called the Master, who enlists him as his right-hand man. Now, it's pretty heavy going at times, but stunningly beautiful, and the performances of Philip Seymour Hoffman and Joaquin Phoenix are amazing. Let's check out the trailer for The Master.
Are you mixed up?
No, sir.
Are you more jumpy than you were before?
No, sir.
And how's your sleeping?
I sleep just fine, sir.
When you sleep, do you have nightmares?
But not as much as before.
You've had violent episodes.
Yes, sir, we all did.
You pulled a knife to the throat of an officer.
Well, we box that out.
How would you yourself rank your overall health?
Strong.
What about this last episode on the way home?
What episode, sir?
The episode you had on the way home here.
I don't remember an episode.
You have no memory of what happened?
We were celebrating. We were drinking and dancing. I don't remember an episode. Was there a fight? What happened?
Let's just see if we can't help you remember what happened.
Okay.
The Master is in cinemas now. Well, unfortunately, that's all we've got time for this week's Movie Juice, but thank you so much for joining me. Next week, we have a massive show in store for you because Renee Brack is catching up with the one and only dreamy vampire, Edward Cullen, yes, Robert Pattinson, to talk about the final instalment of the Twilight series, The Twilight Saga Breaking Dawn Part 2. I'm a twihard, I can't wait. In the meantime, stay tuned to Star Picks for all the movies you know and the actors you love. Broadcasting glorious high definition with 5.1 surround sound where available. For all the best in entertainment news, find or follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube and mnc.tv.